All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, a great millstone. And peace and salutation to the hopeful members, the elect, the Bukharim, the house of David. It's been preordained, predestined to be delivered in these lasting times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation of Yasha'Allah. I want to go into a lesson. I'm going to go into Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, not the whole chapter, just 1 through 7. All right. And I might conclude the rest of the scriptures another time, but I just want to go through 1 through 7. So without further ado, let's Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord thy power hath driven thee. Right, because we experience both. Right now, when the curses, and they are coming off of us, but we have experienced both. We experienced the blessings, all right, when we were in power, especially during the reign of King Solomon. That's when the blessings were, at its height, all right. And the kingdom to come is going to even surpass that. Haggai 2 verse 9. The latter house is going to be greater than the former, all right. It's going to truly be magnificent forever. But if we go into, I believe it's 2 Kings. Let me see, 2 Kings. No, 2 Chronicles. All right. It just gives you like a glimpse of when King Solomon was ruling. All right. Let me see. Bear with me for 1 second. So like I'm just trying to find the scripture. I just read it the other day. Okay, I'm going back too far. Just see if I can find it. All right, let me see. Thank you, man. All right, but let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Dang, where is it at? Salakia. Let me just pause it. I'll come back. Okay, so I found the scripture. All right, it's 1 Kings, chapter 4, verse 20. And it says, Judah and Israel were many as the sand which is by the sea, and multitude. So we were innumerable even back then, eating and drinking and making merry. All right. And again, King Solomon's reign was for 40 years of peace, man. All right. These when the blessings came upon us. And Solomon reigned over all kingdoms, from the river unto the land of the Philistines and unto the border of Egypt. They brought presents and served Solomon all the days of his life. And Solomon's provision for one day was 30 measures of fine flour, and 80 measures of meal, 10 fat oxen, and 20 oxen out of the pastures, and 100 sheep, beside harts and roebucks, and fallow deer, and fatted fowl. So they were eating good, man. All right, it's not like this BS we had today. You got meat in stores that's been there for a couple of days. And the way they slaughter the animal is it's in a very negative way. All right, it's actually it's wicked. Causing the animal to go in a stressful mode, in a stressful state of mind. All right, they put them on grinders alive, and then they don't separate the blood. All right, so that last state of the animal was a negative vibration, and then that's what we eat. But the scriptures say we shall eat our food defiled in the land, so you can't be over righteous. It is what it is, until we get out of this place, man. But we're gonna go back to this state and better. All right, eating good food, killed on that day, and you eat it that same day. That's how it's supposed to be. And it says, for he had dominion over all the region on this side, the river from Tipsah even to Hazah, over all the kings on this side the river, and he had peace on all sides around about him. In Judah and Israel, so hey, King Solomon had rulership over all those kingdoms round about. You see? And Judah and Israel dwelt safely, every man under his vine and under his fig tree, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. So from coast to coast, you know, from the south, you know, where Judah was reigning, all right, all the way up to near like Lebanon, all right, where the northern part of Israel was. I believe the furthest was that's like Zebulun, Issachar, Asher's dwelling place, all right. You see, and of course the curses came upon us. Deuteronomy 20 chapter. You know who else? Who did this happen to? Just quick scripture, Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. You see, and we just read that King Solomon's his reign was on the border of Egypt, because Israel is right next to you know right next to it was next to Esau's land, or the land of Jordan, but that was close to Egypt. All right, you didn't need ships, you can just walk there, journey to walk there. You see. So what is this talking about? America. This Egypt means the house of bondage. If you look at the back of the dollar bill, it shows you a pyramid showing you that this is spiritually Egypt all over again. All right. And the Lord shall bring thee to Egypt again with ships. When did that happen? Going to when the southern kingdom was brought over here from the west coast of Africa. Even before that, they were coming from Portugal, or in the 1500s to Florida, you know. And the northern kingdom was put on cargo slave ships as well when Cristobal Colon came to um, the island of Puerto Rico, or Hispaniola, all right? Taking Native Americans too, okay? So this happened around like the 1400s. And then the Southern Kingdom, Judah, came coming to the English colonies in 1619, all right? And it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see no more again the land of Israel, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And that's what happened. We went on cargo slave ships, and we were sold, man, on auction blocks. We were sold, all right, as slaves. We were on plantations. Excuse me. We were on plantations, okay? And now they call it critical race theory. No, it's critical race facts, all right? As Elder Malcolm, that's the name of his channel as well. All right, subscribe to that channel, all right, and be edified. But that is factual, okay? And it's catching up to Esau. And these curses are going to fall upon you Edomites, man, and all you heathens. All right, Deuteronomy 30 verse 1 again, and it shall come to pass, and all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I said before thee, and thou shalt come call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord power had driven thee, and we have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, not just because of slavery, but because Jake was ruling, you know. And just knowing Jake, Jake like to travel, man. Jake loved to travel. All right, if I could travel, I would. You know, it's actually it's a good thing to travel. The scriptures even say how a well-traveled man has a lot of experience and knowledge. You know, but it's good to travel. All right, but we were ruling at one point. The Byzantine Empire. That's when Jake was ruling. All right, so we were ruling in Europe. Jake was in Southeast Asia. All right. And shall return unto the Lord thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul. Then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy power has scattered thee. You see? So, and that's starting with the elect, because they're coming back unto Yahweh Shemashai first, and they'll be delivered on this first go around. And then the rest, that died on this side, they'll come back to the loins of the elect men, the 2/3 that perished on this side. Okay, but we have been scattered. All right, again, because of captivity. All right, because of captivity. You know, we have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and some jakes even look like other nations. All right, some are going to look like other nations. That's why it says in Revelation, the 7th chapter, verse 9, is after the naming of the elect, by the way, the 144,000. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. All right, so Christians read that and they think, oh, look, see, all nations. No. All right, John the Revelator was seeing this. All right, he was seeing Israelites, but Israelite foreigners as well, which were all technically Israelite foreigners. But some even look like the other nations. That's just the truth. All right, you're in the land for so long. You're in China for so long, 500 years. All right, and your nationality is determined by your father. Sooner or later, great grandchildren will look like the people, the inhabitants of that land. You know, it's just common sense. All right. So the Lord is gonna, He's calling the elect first. All right, from all nations that's scattered throughout the four corners of the. I mean, He's calling the elect that's scattered through all these nations. All right, around the world. And you have brothers everywhere now waking up, preaching His knowledge, His truth. All right. Deuteronomy 20. Deuteronomy 30, verse. Let me see. 4. All right. So the Lord's gonna have compassion on His people. All right, starting with the elect. And if any of thine be driven out unto the uttermost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy power gather thee, and from thence will He fetch thee. All right. And how He's gonna do that? By chariots, man. Once Yahushua returns on that last and dreadful day, which will be a glorious day as well, He's gonna beam up the elect throughout the four corners of the earth, man. All right. And it reads, and the Lord thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and He will do good and multiply thee above thy fathers. You see? And multiply thee above thy fathers, man. All right, 2 Samuel. So the kingdom of heaven is going to surpass, King Solomon's reign. All right, it's going to surpass it. 2 Samuel 7, verse 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore, as before time. So we're going back to the land of Israel. The children of wickedness, Esau, Edom, is not going to afflict us anymore, because he's going to be put in captivity. The curses are going to come upon him. You see? And it says, verse 6, and the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. All right. And you can find that a precept to that in Ezekiel, the 36th chapter, verse 24 to 26, actually 27. It says, and I will sanctify my great name. Actually, it's like 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries, and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and that's this word which is cleansing us now. And ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart, a new mind, la'ab in the Hebrew, all right, or lab in the Hebrew, will I put within you, and I will take away the stony out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. And I'll put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. So the heart of flesh, all right, this mortal body that constantly goes off, man. All right, the Lord's about to change us into gods, celestial / extraterrestrial beings, man. We're gonna be programmed to be righteous, downloaded. You know, it's gonna be beautiful, man. All right. And it's like verse 27 again. I'll put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. You see? Let me keep reading actually, It says, I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn and will increase it and lay no famine upon you. So we're going to get all the riches, And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. You see? So no more reproach of famine among the heathen, The Lord's going to increase us. All right, we're going to be in abundance of riches, man. Have slaves. These heathens are going to bow down unto us. No more going to be a byword. All right? We're going to be the hierarchy upon the earth, man. You see? So let's go back. Deuteronomy, the last verse 7 now. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, and which persecuted thee. You see? So these curses are going to come upon all of our enemies. And what's the first thing that they're going to be doing? Building up our kingdom. All right? They're going to be building up our kingdom, man. They're going to be in chains and shackles. Revelation 13, verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is patience in the faith of the saints. All right. And who put us in captivity? Esau, Edom, but not just him. All these other nations as well at one point. And they all had a hand. They all knew about our downfall. These, higher ups, all right, in these other countries, they know who the Israelites are, but they don't say anything. Okay. Isaiah 60, verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For my wrath I smote thee, but my favor I have mercy on thee. You see? So the roles are going to reverse. The heathens are going to be under us, building our palace, building our kingdom. Scriptures say how our streets are going to be paved with gold. I get ready to rule, brothers. I'll speak to myself. Vision the kingdom. All right. Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually; they shall not be shut day nor night. That men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. So abundant of riches is going to come in constantly, day and night. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. You see, the glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. And trees are the pine tree, the fir tree, those are beautiful trees. Those are very beautiful trees, man, which that has a lot of benefits, right? Just looking to plants and trees, they have a lot of benefits. All right, I might start doing videos on that, different plants and the benefits they give off. Some are like they release negative ions. Some are like a air refresher. All right, some actually block EMF. The snake plant does that. All right, but hey, the kingdom is gonna be glorious, man. Nothing but rich is gonna come in constantly from these other heathens. All right, and shiploads. All right, actually, let me stop at this last verse. It says, verse 14: the sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee. That's when you're blessed, because blessed means to bow down. And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the city of Yahweh Bashmashai, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. All right. Actually, let me stop at one more verse. Whereas thou has been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I'll make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. With that, giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Hakodash. Give honor to my other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful members of the elect. Shalom.